So I recently finally got around to watching Jurassic World for the first time,
Yeah.
and I thought that it was, I thought it was a good kind of monster movie, kind of more so than the rest of the Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah. Because the other ones are like kind of more on the, I don't know, weird sci-fi family film thing. That like okay, so Jurassic World, it starts off like a creature flick. That's the way I think of it.
Yeah, because they when they introduce the hybrid dinosaur, it's kind of like those old like creature flicks because you don't see the whole thing, and I thought that was really good because they don't introduce seeing the full dinosaur at first.
Yeah.
Like you just see it like moving back behind the trees and bushes and stuff.
Yeah, behind the car when that guy's hiding and stuff. And that's where I think they went wrong because they could have had an awesome creature flick if they just would have kept it that the whole movie. It would have been great. Like if all the dinosaurs would have stayed locked up, I would have been fine with that. And then they just would have had the creature. Like let's contend with the creature, because the next step is like we analyze what the creature, how the creature thinks, and what it does, so we can capture it. And then the next step, like a final step, should be we finally see the creature at the end. Like that's how the old movies were. You never saw the creature, and then at the end it'd be like,
here's the big reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they revealed it too early on in the movie. I mean, they kept it for a little bit, but I think that it could have been a lot better if they had held off on the full reveal until at least maybe like halfway through the movie or something. It was pretty early on in the movie that they revealed the whole thing.
That reminds me of like all those great creature flicks. One of the best ones ever, right? Being Predator with Arnold. Right, it's kind of a creature flick. But those old ones like Predator and Aliens, if you've ever seen Leviathan, like with the thing under the water, and there's always like this, you don't know what it is. It's still mysterious to us. Even though it wasn't mysterious to them in Jurassic World because they made it, it was still doing things that they didn't predict, clearly, because they're idiots. Like, why would you make this thing and be like, it's not going to do those things? But
yeah, more teeth, but they don't actually, it's not actually going to kill people.
Yeah.
Probably is.
We're going to give it superpowers, but it's not going to use those, maliciously. But if they would have just kept the whole movie a creature flick, I felt like it would have been really awesome.
Yeah, and you had mentioned before about how it was it was several different kinds of movies.
Yeah.
Was it Alien 2? Was it Aliens? That's more of an action movie
Aliens.
because they've got like the Space Marines. Yeah, that one.
That's my favorite.
Because you get to that part of the movie where they've got like their spec ops team or whatever, and they're out there hunting the dinosaur, and that kind of reminded me of Aliens.
Yeah. But then it went back to being some weird family odd thing with all the dinosaur antics that suddenly happened at some point. They were just like running through the crowd and just kind of messing with people, but there was never any like real blood or gore or anything super terrifying going on. Yeah. Even the woman who got eaten was like, it didn't look that bad. So they should have just kept all that out of there, and they could have avoided it being a gore fest and still made it a PG-13 if it was a creature flick, because a lot of things could be implied instead of us having to see like this visual effects orgy on the screen for no reason.
Yeah.
But what are some of your favorite creature movies?
I guess it depends on what you consider a creature movie. I don't think I've seen a whole lot. Like I've seen some Godzilla movies, but I think those are like a big monster
apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Disaster film.
And it depends on whether you consider Cloverfield something like that. Is that a big monster thing, or is that a creature flick?
I think to me the creature flick is something where you're trapped or you're contained in a specific area, and there is a creature that's gonna kill you. Yeah. And you gotta figure out how not to get killed and hopefully kill the creature at some point as well. That's the creature flick. So if it's like global decimation by a big lizard that's coming about and just like stomping people and blowing fire, that's probably like a big monster film, disaster film.
Big monster film, disaster film, like I guess Cloverfield kind of falls into that one, and Pacific Rim.
Yeah, all those huge like global things going on. Creatures like, here we are, we're stuck, there's rabid coyote out or something, whatever it is. You know, we got to deal with that shit. And I think it's potentially more realistic if you get a creature flick. Not that it's realistic in general, but if you're dealing with the big global thing, the big monster flicks, it's kind of like way out there. Like, yeah, that's going to happen. But you could almost believe that you could get trapped someplace, and some creature, if it was there, it could be anything, a shark, you know, like, because Jaws is kind of like an old creature flick, you know, like Jaws is the creature in that movie, and they have to learn how Jaws is behaving so they can try to kill him. But you're stuck someplace, and that creature's fucking with you, and you gotta figure a way out of it. So there's like, I guess there's the content like that you have to figure some shit out while you're going along in the movie as part of it.
Yeah, Jaws is good. Now I haven't seen more than just the original.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that they get much worse. But Jaws is good. Alien and Aliens.
Yeah.
Is good.
Alien is probably like a legitimately awesome creature flick because it's just like them on the ship. There's one alien, and they're like, what the fuck? You know. Now I like Aliens because I like the testosterone fueled. It's game over, man. You know.
Yeah.
I like that. But it's still, I think it still falls into the creature thing. Maybe not so much so because there's a ton of aliens in that one. But the big alien, the queen alien comes out, and I guess she's like the big creature effect in that one. I think creature flicks are cool. There's other ones like Mimic and Relic, if you've ever seen those. Like one of them's like you're caught in a museum, and you know the other one's like caught in a city or whatever it is. And I think they could do a lot more of those, and it'd be very suspenseful. Like when they're done, I'm always like intrigued by them, but no one ever does them.
Yeah, and then like because we said about Jaws, so is Mega Shark considered? Was it a creature flick, or is Mega Shark like because Mega Shark is much bigger than a regular shark, and I think it's Mega Shark. One of the Mega Shark movies, I think it actually jumps up out of the water and like jumps over like a boat, not like a small boat, like a military boat.
I've never seen those, but I'm going to now. I don't know, I assume those probably fall into the creature flick category just because it's a creature that's messing with people. But it might be, you said it's Mega Shark, so it might be falling into the Godzilla big monster apocalyptic thing.
Now, not necessarily a good movie or a favorite by any means, but the Leprechaun reboot is very different than the rest of the Leprechaun movies because it doesn't. The characteristics of the Leprechaun are completely stripped out of the remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it, and it's more of a creature movie because it's just the Leprechaun and it's very monster-like.
Right. Yeah, you told I've never seen it, but you told me that it's almost like it's a monster.
Yeah, and it might be a good movie if it had not been associated with the Leprechaun franchise.
Right. Yeah, I read similar reviews. They were like, people were expecting it to be a Leprechaun thing, and then when they watched it, they were like, I'm not saying that it's good because I don't know. I've never watched it, but did you think it was a good movie if it wasn't considered a Leprechaun film?
It's hard to remove that piece from the equation.
Yeah.
But I think it would be a decent movie.
Yeah.
If it had not been associated with the franchise that it was.
Right. Interesting. What are some of your favorite creature flicks? Next time on Terror Talks, we're going to talk about dog poop and coffee.
And every other review after that.